So who really wants to be counting calories for the rest of their lives? Like, it ruins going in out and eating meals with friends. So what I'm going to do in this video today is I'm going to go through 8 tips on how you can still lose weight without counting calories. What up everyone, my name is Dan, this is the Specific Personal Training channel, and if you want more content then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. So I'm not going to harp on too much throughout this video, as I know a lot of you will just be here for those 8 tips, but I just want to quickly go through counting calories and how does it work, the advantages of it, and then I'll give you those 8 tips that you can use to help you carry on losing fat without counting calories. So first of all, yes, straight off, you can lose weight without counting calories, but you have to have a good relationship with food for it to work. You know, as a prime example, fad diets can get us into an unhealthy mindset, which you can hear more about that by clicking on this video here in the corner. But yeah, fad diets get us into a bit of a negative mindset with food, a bad relationship with food. You know, it teaches you that certain foods are bad and not good, and certain foods are good and you should eat plenty of them. And that is an idea and a relationship with food that you need to not have if you want to lose weight without counting calories. I know fad diets get you into a mindset of restrictedness, which just says you need to get rid of, but not counting calories still means that you will need to cut out certain foods, or at least moderate them quite heavily for a while. And the reason why I say that is because, like with everything, if you're not losing weight doing what you're doing right now, then you need to change things up. You need to start doing something different, which probably does mean cutting out 1 or 2 of the foods which you are currently eating, or dropping the amount down that you eat them. You also have to understand your body by understanding the process as well. The great analogy which I hear all the time is you will not get into a car and just drive without learning the process of how to drive, without learning how a car works. So your body is exactly the same. You need to understand the process of your body and how it works for you to be able to successfully lose weight without counting calories. And you will only really understand that by going through this process which I'm going to lay out for you. Now, nobody does want to be counting calories their whole life. I've got a relatively good gauge on what I'm eating, but that is because I put a lot of time and practice into it before. So now when I eat, like, I can go through a full day of eating and I will pretty much know whether I've eaten under calories or over calories, because I now know like what a 200-gram piece of steak looks like, 150 grams of rice looks like roughly. Now, don't be scared about gaining weight when you're not counting calories. This is the biggest thing that kind of puts people off. They're worried that if they're not counting calories, then they're going to put on an abundance of weight, and it's actually going to have the reverse effect. The only people that really get worried or scared about this as well is people that don't have a plan. Now, when you are eating without counting calories, you still need to have a plan, and no matter what your plan is, no matter what kind of nutrition style that you want to do, you need to stick with it. If you have a plan, like with anything in life, if you have a plan, then you know you're sure of where you're doing, and a lot of the anxiety and worry is taken away. And consistency, at the end of the day, consistency is always the number one thing and will always be the number one thing that helps you succeed. So what are the advantages of not counting calories? Well, when people start counting calories, they see foods as good foods and bad foods. And not counting forces you to think more about food quality than what it does of just, that's a good food, I can't eat that, that's a bad food, I can't eat that, okay? So, and through that, it then becomes easier for the average person to maintain health without stress. Counting calories puts a lot of stress on people, and if you can just have a very good gauge and know what you're eating, then you'll you'll enjoy the journey so much more, and it will benefit you so much more throughout the rest of your life too. So if this whole counting calories is making sense so far, then you know what to do. Give me a yes in the comments below. Here we are, the 8 tips that are going to help you lose weight without counting calories. So the first one is actually know your macros. Okay, you need to know the maintenance calorie amount of what you should be eating, and you need to know these numbers so we can get a base level of where we're at. You know, not every male eats 2,500 calories to maintain. You know, everyone is very individual depending on your height, your weight and everything. So find out what your base level of maintenance calories and macros are. Number 2 is understand portion size. So you know, you need to start understanding like portion sizes and how big they are. The best tip and skill for this is just going to be simply measuring your food. Like, measure your food. Again, if you need to use MyFitnessPal for 60 days, 90 days, okay, measure out your food until you know like roughly how big a piece of protein is, how much is in like that portion of rice. And through those 60 to 90 days of suckiness, to have the skill that you can take with you and not have to ever count calories again. You know, how easy would that make your life? Tip number 3, train hard to create a deficit. It's as easy as that. So if you have your maintenance level, or if you're eating like 100 or 200 calories under, you then need to make sure that you are training to create a deficit, because if you're not creating a deficit, again, you're just going to kind of be eating at a maintenance level and you won't be going anywhere. So make sure you're training hard, make sure your training sessions are intense for you, and that you're always trying to step it up to get that extra workload in to create that extra deficit. My 4th tip for you is try and cycle your carbs around your workout. Use a lot of the carbs before your workouts to give you the extra energy, again, to create that deficit that we were just talking about in point 4. And then, you know, you can use the carbs right afterwards to replenish all your glycogen levels and things like that. And then afterwards, you really want to be focusing on like high protein, low carb meals. Number 5, my favorite one of all, and that's sleep more. Yes, you probably heard this in other fat loss videos that I've done. Sleep more. And the reason why I say sleep more isn't even to do with recovery or anything. The reason why sleeping more will help you lose weight without counting calories is because it will help you make better food choices. A lot of the time when we make our crappy food choices, they're when we're really tired, when we're cranky, when we're hungover. It's just when our bodies aren't in a good state. If you can sleep more, you'll be more alert to making better food choices. Number 6 is hydrate. Reason why I say hydrating is so important is because it helps detoxify the body and carries all the vitamins and minerals around there. Number 7 is the craving question. So basically, always be questioning your hunger. Is it real hunger? And there's 2 ways that I do this. Number 1 is, first I ask the question, okay, am I hungry enough to eat a salad? Because everyone's always hungry enough to eat Reese's Buttercups or ice cream. I know I certainly am. So I always ask myself, am I hungry enough to eat a salad? Because for the majority of people, you know, you don't want to eat a salad. So if you're really hungry enough to eat a salad, then you are actually hungry. The other one is, you know, asking yourself if you're really hungry and then waiting 20 minutes to ask yourself that question again. Like I said, a lot of the time, it's not real hunger. We are not asking this question because we're hungry, we're asking it because we're bored or some other reason. So, you know, if you wait like 20 minutes before you ask yourself again, and if you're still hungry, then it's a very high chance that yes, you are actually hungry. Often when I do that and I'm not really hungry, I'll find that it just totally subsides. I'll carry on doing my work or whatever it is that I'm doing and totally forget to even ask myself the question a lot of the time. And tip number 8 is don't stress. You know, there's many reasons for this, and I'm not talking about food, I'm talking about your stress levels in general. So whether you need to meditate, do yoga, whatever helps bring your stress levels down or stops getting you stressed throughout the day, then do it. And there's a couple of reasons for this. Number one is that when we are not stressed, we enjoy the foods that we eat more. Certainly, you know, the healthier foods we'll enjoy more when we eat them. And number two is that it stops us from making those bad food choices, because, you know, sometimes we just eat to fill a void. As humans, you know, we can be emotional eaters. So, you know, if we eat when we're stressed, it doesn't always fill that void that we're looking for, which can then cause us to eat more and more and make, again, poor food choices. So the lower stress levels are, the more you'll enjoy the good foods that you're eating, and the less you'll feel the need to eat the bad foods that you're eating. Before I wrap up this video, I want to leave you with a few words of wisdom about counting calories. So for those of you that get scared of not tracking, you have to challenge that belief. The odds are that if you are worried about gaining weight while not tracking, that you're going to be a lot more meticulous about all of your food choices. And at the end of the day, you know, if it does go wrong, tracking is still always there to go back to. So challenge yourself week by week and use the progress to tell you, like use the results that you get every week to tell you if it's working or if you need to adjust. And that is what creates a healthy mind and body. So thanks everyone for watching this video. Let me know if you liked it or disliked it by mashing that thumb button below. Question of the day is, are you going to use these tips to not count calories? In the description section below will be the links to all my other social media, so by all means give me a follow and let's chat on there too. And as always, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments section below. And if you haven't already, then click on that subscribe button and ring that bell to stay up to date with all the latest notifications from this channel. And while you're waiting for more content, you can always click on this link above here to see the video about why we need to be more focused on losing body fat and not losing weight. Or you can click on this video here to learn all about carb cycling.